this is not the time that you'll be putting your email sweetleak@hotmail.com, hotchick@gmail.com. Bro, sis, nah, we don't do that here. Hi guys, welcome to your favorite spot on YouTube. If this is your first time here, welcome to the family. For my OGs, welcome back. My name is Mary J. Mary J. It seems like I forgot my name for a bit. My name is Mary J, and on this channel, I talk about product management, skincare, career improvement, personal development, faith, anything that I find interesting and that I think you will find interesting. And for you to have clicked on this video, it means that you find it interesting. So, welcome to my channel. My channel. Today, we'll be talking about your resume, your CV, whatever you want to call it, the thing that you send to a recruiter or the thing that you use to apply to jobs. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And it's so funny that a lot of people don't really know what should be in their resume and what shouldn't be in their resume, or how many pages it should be, or stuff like that. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So stay tuned. Also, if you haven't, now is a good time for you to subscribe and like this video. Honestly, you can like the video before you even find out what I'm saying. It doesn't really hurt. I'm going to be showing you images of different things as I go, and I'll be showing you, we're going to be building a resume together in this video. So we're going to start from what should be at the top and what should be below. For the sake of this video, I'm going to call it a resume. I know that some people call it resume, some people call it CV. Depends on where you are and what the job market in your location dictates. But I'm going to be using resume for the sake of this video. But don't be confused. I'm still talking about CV. I'm talking about resume. I'm talking about the same thing that you would use to apply to a job that a recruiter would look at and be like, okay, I want this person on my team or not. You get me? You get me? I know you get me. So we're going to start from the top and work our way down to the bottom. So what is usually the first thing that is on your resume? The first thing on your resume should be your name. Obviously, the name that they're going to call you by. The best practice is your first name, your middle name, and your last name. You can shorten your first name if it's like all those long names that will cover the whole page. You can shorten it, use like the easiest way that your name can be pronounced, and shorten it so that it's easier for people to read your resume and know that, oh, I'm talking about this person. My name is Mary Jacinta Ode, so sometimes I put Mary J Ode, sometimes I put Mary Jacinta Ode. It just depends on how much space I have. I can also decide to put my surname first, my middle name, but just put your name. Your 3 names if it's not too long like mine, or 2 names if it's easier, but your first name, last name, obviously. The next part is your details. By details, I mean your email, your phone number if you want to, your LinkedIn profile, your link to like your portfolio, etc, etc. Now, we'll start with your email. Your email is your personal email, not obviously your work email. You're not about to be putting your current work email if you have a job into your resume. Think. So it's going to be your personal email, and it should be like a professional email, like an email that has maybe your first name, last name at gmail.com, at yahoo.com, whatever email provider you're using. This is not the time that you'll be putting your email sweetleak@hotmail.com, hotchick@gmail.com. Bro, sis, nah, we don't do that here. Imagine you as a recruiter and you're seeing somebody's CV and you're saying sweetchick@gmail.com. Are you even going to move down from there? No, think about it. So your email should be obviously your normal professional email, your personal email, but in a professional way, like something that somebody will see and be like, okay, this person is reasonable, this person knows what the person is doing. The next one is your phone number. Now, because of how far and how wide you're going to be sending your CVs, I don't recommend that you put your phone number in your CV. It's easier for them to reach you, I understand. If you are going to be filling out like a form on their website, you can put your phone number, but I would not recommend to put your phone number on your CV. But that's my own personal preference. For you, you can decide if you want to put your phone number or not. If you're putting your phone number, it's better for you to put the country code and the rest of the number. Obviously, if you're in Nigeria, +234, the number +234 and the next number after zero. Not that you put +234, you now put 080 again. That is not the correct way that they used to write it. +23480 +23491 +234, and then you continue your full number. Then the next thing is your LinkedIn URL. Your LinkedIn URL, you can get it from your LinkedIn profile. It's so easy for them to just use that link to go straight to your profile on LinkedIn and see like your full description. So you can add your LinkedIn profile to your CV. It's always important to add it so that they have like an additional place to look at in case they need more. Now, another thing that you can add to like that beginning part is your portfolio, is a link to your portfolio, a link to like any other thing, any other professional work, a link to your website and stuff like that. Now, if your website already has, or your portfolio already has your LinkedIn profile, you can choose to not put your LinkedIn profile and then they'll go to your portfolio. But I would advise that you put your LinkedIn profile, your LinkedIn URL, as well as your portfolio URL. Now, if you're creating, I'm going to talk about like where you can create your CV, where I created my CV, and where you can create your CV at the end of this video. But I'm just going to be talking about the details that would be in your CV for now. After you've put your name and your details, the next part is your career summary. It's supposed to be like 1 to 5 sentences, give or take, that would detail your career, like a summary of all the things that you have done, all the achievements that you have had. Now think about it, you're a recruiter, you have a ton of CVs to review. The first set of things that you would see would catch your eye, and you would determine if you are going to move forward with this person or not. And that's why your career summary should have the T. It should have your achievement. If you are a product manager with 5 years of experience, if you are a customer support person with 10 years of experience, that should be the first thing that is in that sentence. Customer support agent with 10 years of experience, 10 years of experience in product management, 5 years of experience as a software engineer, yada yada yada. That should be the first thing that would come. And then after that, you talk about the achievements that you have done across your role. So maybe for example, you were able to 10x your revenue when you were working as a product manager in your current role or in your previous role, right? It's your highest achievement, the achievement that will make them want to call you. That should also be part of your career summary. You can also add the top skills that you have seen in the job description. You can add that to your career summary so that they are able to see that, okay, this person has the skills that I am looking for. Remember, this is like your way into the company, your way into their hearts, and you have to put your best foot forward. You have to use your highest achievements, what you have done that you know would catch their eye, what you have done that is linked to like the job description that you are applying for. You have to use that so that you can catch them at that point. Now, after your professional summary or your career summary, the next bit is your work experience. Now, you arrange your work experience from the one that you're currently doing, or from the most recent one to the oldest one. And if you have, let's say you've worked at 10 companies and you have different experiences from these 10 companies, you have to figure out the one that is closely tied to the job that you're applying for, and those will be the ones that will be there. You don't have to put the 10 companies that you have worked in your CV. If they want to see the first 5, they would go to like your website or your profile to go and see those ones. Let's say, for example, you have worked in 3 places, you put the most recent one first, and then the next one and the next one. That's how you put your work experience. Now let's go into what each of it should contain. The first thing that you would put is your role. The role that you did in the company name, the dates that you worked in that company. on the same, so the company, the role, the date, the company name. And then afterwards you put at least, let's say give or take, between 4 to 5 key things that you have done in that company. This is not the place where you would be putting the actual job description that you do. This is where you put the achievements that you have done in that role. Let's say, for example, you did a task and what you got out of that task, you need to put it there. Say, for example, you built a product from ideation to launch. Now, that product that you built, what did that product give the company? What did you get out of the that you built? Were you able to get more customers, customer acquisition? Were you able to get more users into the door? Were you able to increase the revenue? You always add the achievements that you got from the tax. You always add that to the tax, to each tax. Always quantify your tax. Don't just put like the tax that you did. Oh, I I built the savings products for the company. I was able to go from point A to point B without any quantify. So how, what are we using? What is the metric that we're using to track that job that you have done or to track that task that you have done? Recap: name of your role, the date, and the name of the company. Then you put the key experience, the key things that you did, and you make them quantifiable. Also, always use bullet points when you are listing out the tasks that you did, when you're talking about your experience. It makes it easier to read, so that you're not just muddling everything up and then somebody is confused. If you did 5 tasks, make them 5 bullet points. If you did 4 tasks, make them 4 bullet points, quantifiable points. And make sure that you're putting your top achievements. You're not just putting everything that you did at the job. Think about the best one that will make you put your best foot forward, and also the best one that is tied to like the job description that they are requesting for. Think about that, and that should be what you'll be putting on the list of tasks that you have done. The next part are your skills. Most JDs will have skills, that a skill section, what they are looking out for. Some may not have it, but I know most of them have it. So this is the part where you now put your skills, the skills that you have, the skills that are tied to the job description, the skills that are tied to the tasks that you have done. List your skills. Always use bullet points, or just list them in a way that it is very easy for the person to catch, it is very easy for them to read. List the number of skills that you have, the ones that are highly tied to your role, highly tied to the JD. List them on your CV under your skills. Then you can also list the tools that you are very good with, the tools that you usually use in your day-to-day. List it under tools. You can probably put that under skills, then under tools, maybe technical skills. The way I have it on my own is skills, technical skills, soft skills, and tools. That way you are able to also talk about the tools that you have used, or the tools that are tied to your job, or the tools that are found in the job description. The next part is your education. You put the university, put the course, and put the grade. Now, to be honest, it's just to show that, oh, you have a BSc or you have a high degree from a university. You don't necessarily have to put the year that you graduated from, unless it is absolutely requested or unless it is necessary. The reason why I'm saying don't put the year that you graduated is because you might be profiled. So what I mean is, for example, you graduated in 2023, but you started working since 2021. Because your year of graduation is 2023, they will just profile you that you probably have just 1 year of experience. Meanwhile, you've had a couple of years of experience doing different things. So I would always advise for you to not put your year of graduation under your education unless it is absolutely required. You can also put your grade, the grade you graduated with, because it's not easy to graduate with first class, it's not easy to graduate with 2-1, it's not even easy to graduate with 2-2, to be honest. Depending on what the job requires, and depending on what you are very comfortable putting out there, it would make sense for you to put your grade. But if not, you can just put the name of the school, you can put the course that you studied and leave it at that. The next bit is certificates and training or courses that you have taken that are tied to the role. Now, this would just show that you have like a higher education that you have taken that will help you be like a better candidate for the role. There's also like professional courses that people take, like CIPM, I think. There's some that are for HR and stuff like that. So here is the part where you put it under your courses, under your certificates. So you put like the courses that you have taken that are tied to the job that you are applying for. Think about it as the kind of course that would make me be a better fit for this role. Those are the courses that you put under your certificate. But to be honest, if you have, let's say you have a minimum of five, let's say you have five certificates, you can put the five certificates there. Now, the sweet spot for your resume should be one page. It's easier to read, it's easier to scan through, and it also stops you from putting things that are not really important to the resume. So the sweet spot is one page, at most two pages. Now, there are some CVs or some countries that will require you to add like volunteer experience as part of it. After you have put your professional certification, you can put your volunteer experience. Now, for references, it's not really requested at this point. Now is the time for you to be mentioning your references, because at some point you'll be requested for it, like maybe during the interview stages, or when you get an offer, they might ask you for your references. But I don't think now is the time for you to put this in your reference. Remember, we're trying to keep it very short and impactful. We're trying to put our best foot forward. This is not the time to be putting things that might not be requested. Do you get me? So this is what a CV, a sample of a CV should look like. This is the template. This is what it should look like at the end of the creation process. Now, your resume should be, like I said, one pager, but it should be very clean. There's no need for you to put a picture unless it's like a modeling gig. That's when you should put a picture. But like you would see some resume samples that are pictures. If you're just taking space, there's nobody that is going to be asking for your picture unless it is absolutely requested for. If it is not, please, there's no need for you to put your picture on your resume. It doesn't help you with anything. It just takes space. And try to make it ATS friendly so that it is very easy for the ATS to read it, and so that your CV is not shanked. You can keep your colors for portfolio, but your CV, you don't need a lot of colors. Just make it very simple, very impactful. Let it resonate your personality. Don't try to test out your need for colors. Now, you can create your CV, you can use Microsoft Word. It's fine using Microsoft Word. I use Canva to create my CV because I wanted to do like some sort of editing, some sort of like just small things. And Canva will give you different templates that you can use. Like I said, I use the simplest one. There's no need for me to use one that has my picture on it because it's not requested and I'm trying to keep space. So you can create your CV on Canva. But there's one more thing I need you to note. When you are sending out your CV, when you're trying to save your CV to send it out, save it with your name and add like resume. I feel like I've even started I've started using CV as the name. Like I said, anyone works. It depends on where you are. So save it with your name and save it as CV. So if your name is Mary Ode, you save it as Mary Ode CV. Do you get? Now is not the time for you to just put CV or for you to just put like a very funny name. It's easier for people to find the CV. Let's say, for example, you have sent and they've saved it somewhere. It's easier for them to just use your name to search for it as opposed to you just saving it as CV or resume, and then it's very hard for them to find your CV. You get me? Now, the things that should not be found in your CV, things like date of birth, things like gender. There are a couple of things that we used to put in our CVs growing up. I remember when I used to still type CVs for people, we used to have gender, we used to have address. Now, I forgot to state this at the beginning. Some people decide to put their address in their CV. That's okay. But if you want to put your address because of security, so that you're security conscious, it would make sense to just put a location. Say, for example, you stay in Apapa in Lagos, or you stay in number 5 Sumola Street, Apapa in Lagos. Don't put number 5 Sumola Street, Apapa in Lagos unless you want people to come and start visiting you in your house. You need to be very security conscious. It would make sense to just put Apapa Lagos or to just put Lagos Nigeria, depending on it. But to be honest, unless it is absolutely necessary, I don't think you should put it. But left to you, you can decide to put it. But if you're going to, just to like give it some kind of oomph, if you're going to put the shortest form of address that would show where you are, don't put your full address so that you don't get visitors at night. And it's also advisable to save your CV or your resume in PDF format. That's like the easiest way. Your CV would not, or your resume would not start to jump when another person opens it in another system. If you save it in Microsoft Word, or you save it with like another type of document type, you might send it to somebody and the person has another version of Microsoft, and then the person opens it and all of your details has scattered. So the best way is to save it in PDF, save it with your name, and the sweet spot is 1 page. Don't go more than 1 page. If you can, try to keep it at 1 page. If you have like a ton of experience that you need to put, then make it 2 pages. But honestly, try to keep it at 1 page. Also, don't forget to proofread your CV. There are some times that you'll be typing and you would have probably put one English inside another. The best thing is to proofread it, look through it, check for like spelling errors, grammar errors, check for formatting, make sure that everything is aligned. You use bullet points to show like the different things that you need to number. For every time that you're numbering, for every time that you're talking about different things, you use bullet points for that. Now, I understand that it would make sense to, or one of the things that we're always told is to tailor your CV to every job search. And to be honest, I don't think that's realistic. And I'll just be fair. I don't think it's realistic. Now, if you can, please do that. That's just the truth. If you can't do it, if you can tailor your CV to every job search that you are applying for, do it. But what I would always tell people, or what I would advise, is try to look at least 5, 10 job descriptions. They usually have almost the same thing. They usually have almost the same skills. They usually have almost the same kind of requirements. Try to look at like 5, 10, 15, 20. Like if you are somebody that is applying to jobs, you will know what you see mostly in all these jobs, and put those in your resume, put those in your CV. That way you are able to still reach these people with one particular CV. Now, occasionally, always update your CV, occasionally review it, look at it, try to see if it aligns with what is requested in the job description. But I know that it is not sustainable to always edit your CV for every job that you are applying to. Now, an extra tip that I would give is, if you have applied for a job, you have sent like your CV, whether via LinkedIn or to their website or stuff like that, try to go on the company's site and try to find people that work there. Try to see who the hiring manager is. Try to send out a message to the person to state your interest in the job. It's always nice to have that in place, so that even though you've already applied, you will also be on top of the recruiter's mind if they actually respond. Now, a lot of them might not respond, but at least you've sent a connection request. I know LinkedIn allows you, if you're on the free version, to add like a short message when you're sending. You can send that, and if they accept your connection, you can send a fuller message to them. But always also do that extra leg, so that you're not just sending your CV to, because a ton of people are already applying to that job. That's just the truth. A ton of people are applying to that job. And also, make sure that your LinkedIn profile is up to date. If you want to see how to optimize your LinkedIn profile, I have a video up already. I'm going to link it in the description, so that you can optimize your LinkedIn, and if they can even find you before you actually apply to the job. Another tip I would want to say is that the best time to search for a job is when you're not actually searching. That way you can see, if you're able to get interviews, you can see what recruiters are asking for, you can get budgets of salaries and all of that, and you'll be able to have that at the back of your mind when you eventually start searching for a job. Okay, you get me? If you've watched to this point, you're a superstar. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to comment your questions, comment any questions that you have, anything that I probably did not drop, anything that you're not clear on, comment it, and I would respond to your comments. I would help out as much as I can to simplify the process for you as well. Thank you guys, and see you in my next video. Bye.